Hi everybody and welcome back to Save with Jarod. I'm Jarod and today I'm going to be walking you through a few quick steps on how to invest in a pandemic. So let's get into it. Investing is something that we need to do regardless of whatever economic condition is in front of us or ahead of us. Investing comes in many different forms, like saving for education, saving for our retirement, saving for a home, or as well saving for a vehicle. All of these things are saving in some form, whether it's through an investment, a savings account, a tax-free plan, or also buying shares. Investing is a long-term commitment, and all options should be considered really carefully. However, we're in a pretty unique position at the moment. We're in a pandemic, and stock markets are going wild. You've heard of some people losing a lot of money, and people cashing in their investments. So, what do we do in this time? Well, let me help you with that. Step 1. Don't panic. Firstly, if you have any investments at the moment, do not cash them out. If you've seen over the last few months or during this time that your investment value has dropped, do not pull out of your investment. There are penalties to early withdrawal on your investment. Now, this depends obviously on the structure of the investment you've taken out. Each plan is rather unique, so if you're in a traditional investment, which is generally a 5 to 10 year investment, you'll have a 10% penalty on your entire fund value in the first year. Now, in the second year, that drops by 2% to 8% and drops by 2% thereafter until the fifth year when there are no penalties. So if you're in one of those structures, please do not make any rash decisions and cancel your policy. This could make your losses that you've already incurred even worse. You have to give your investment time to recover. By withdrawing your investment, you're preventing on regaining those losses, which can happen really quickly. Remember, investing is for long-term wealth creation, not short-term gains. Don't panic. Just chat to your financial advisor and ask them to possibly look at different portfolios for you. Step 2. Reassess your financial position. At this time, you're going to have to re-look at your finances and see if you're in the financial position in order to invest. You have to ask yourself these things before investing. Number 1, are my monthly expenses under control? So at the moment, a lot of people have found themselves in the situation that their income has reduced quite dramatically. Now, this could be from a multitude of different reasons, from salary reductions to loss of income if you're a business owner. Make sure you're earning an adequate monthly income first and ensure that you have all your monthly expenses under control. One of the major things that we need to start first before we even consider investing is to start an emergency fund. Now, this can be as simple as opening another savings account that's attached to your bank account and just transferring money into that each month. Make sure you have at least 3 months of living expenses in there first before considering to invest. That being said, you can take out a tax-free savings plan as a form of an emergency fund. It has virtually no cost attached to it and often gives a rate of return that's higher than your savings account. Just make sure you chat to your financial advisor first to ensure that you make some safe portfolio decisions. Number 3, do I have stable employment? A lot of companies are closing their doors during this time, and that's resulting in a lot of staff either being laid off or being short paid. Before you start any form of commitment towards investing, make sure your job is secure and you can meet all of your monthly expenses. I know this may sound obvious, but don't think short term. Think about how your employment prospects are going to be affected 6 to 12 months down the line. Don't enter into any agreement to invest if you're not going to be able to commit to it. This is only going to lead to penalties on withdrawal, and also it's just going to affect your carefully put together strategy. Step 3, invest wisely. Okay, so now you've done all your checks and balances. Your emergency fund is in check, all your monthly expenses are manageable, and you have a steady flow of income coming in. There is money to be made at this time in investing, that's for sure. Company stocks have dropped in certain sectors, and people are panic selling stocks, and also company valuations are dropping in value. But we must remember that this comes with considerable risks. It's rather tempting to invest in a popular company that has dropped in stock prices. Don't do that. Rather stick to a manageable long-term plan. As I've said before, investing is not a get-rich-quick scheme. It is a tool to increase your wealth sustainably over time. You need to be investing in something that will provide you with consistent long-term returns. Do your research first, and then chat to your financial advisor. Ask them for a list of portfolios that are in line with your investing goals and have a proven track record of at least 5 years. Step 4, be realistic. We have to be realistic during this time. I know we've heard stories that during a huge financial crisis, that's where millionaires and billionaires are made. And yes, to a point that is true. However, a lot of those instances are people who got very, very lucky. Unless you have millions of free capital sitting in the bank and don't mind losing it all on a risky gamble, I suggest being a little bit more cautious with your hard-earned money. It's important to be realistic. Doubling your money in 30 days or even 3 months is not realistic. It is possible, but very unlikely, and the risks associated with it will be massive. What people don't see is the other stories of people who invested all of their money on what they thought would be a winning stock and lost everything they own, and most times never really financially recover. Have a strategy in place that will realistically increase your wealth and outperform inflation in the long run. Check out my other video on how to invest like a pro to see the effects of inflation and how it works. Step 5, consider your time frame. As I explained in my last video on retirement, time frame is everything when it comes to investing. It really does determine how risky or safe you're going to have to be. The longer you have to invest, the more risk you can take. If you have 15 years as opposed to 5 years, you can definitely take more of a risk, as you'll be able to ride out those losses and really benefit from the effects of compound interest. You know how they say timing is everything? In investing, it really is. While we're in a position right now that we can benefit from lowered stock prices, we have to ask ourselves if the return from these short-term gains is sustainable in the years to come. Will that stock that we're investing in be around in 10 years' time? Warren Buffett summed it up really well with this quote. It is far better to buy a wonderful company at a fair price than it is to buy a fair company at a wonderful price. Don't invest in something just because there appears to be quick money to be made in the short term. As always, thanks so much for watching, and I really hope that this helps you in some way and adds value to your life. I believe that with these steps in mind, we can really navigate this period and invest well. Hit that like button and consider subscribing if you want to see more videos like this. Also, feel free to share this with as many people as you like if you feel that they can benefit from this. See you guys soon, keep safe, and start investing.